with Cancellara dragging the speed along. Bernati right at the back. A little bumping and boring. Pataki trying to stay in contact. He's been displaced by a man from Saxobank. I don't think it was Haro actually, but somebody else just slipping in between himself and Daniele Bernati. Pataki in the blue and pink mainly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 back at the moment as Cancellara peels off. And the drive comes to deliver Daniele Bernati to the line as fast as possible. Where is Degenkolb and Howard? Gasparotto is there, I can see, about 8 or 10 back at the moment. Hausler lurking behind Alessandro Pataki. Pataki looks to see which way he can go. Whoa! And Sagan holds it upright just as he almost collides with the back of the other rider. Is it Haro who's got off the front here? No, it's Noyens. No, it's not Noyens. Bernati is going to get the best of the rest as Saxo Bank take the win, and Haro gets around the corner. Pataki and Bernati caught up there, and that was really very scrappy at the end as Sagan tried to go through as fast as possible and get out of the way. It is Haro who's gone over the line first, and luckily not being involved in that, as Peter Sagan almost comes off at the last corner, Sean. Well held together at that speed.
Well, I think there was somebody did come off. We could see a bike, I think, going in the air, and a big confusion there. Some of the riders were going to the left, which was the right way. Others wanted to go to the left, and others wanted to go to the right. So there seemed to be confusion that corner. Maybe the diversion for the cars, and look at it there was not a big one.
It looked like there was going to be a big one for a minute, but everybody seemed to avoid it. Peter Sagan locking up and the back wheels fishtailing from one side to the other. He managed to get himself in a pretty good position, Sagan. Came around the outside of everybody and into the final hairpin bend, hanging on to his position. He'd done very well indeed, but coming into that penultimate, that was the penultimate corner, coming to that last corner round the roundabout, very difficult indeed. Here we are, let's have a look over the top here. Bernati is second here. Yep, that's what's happened, Sean, exactly as you said. The lead man for Daniele Bernati has gone right, as has Gasparotto, and everybody else has gone left. Sagan just avoiding colliding in the middle of the roundabout and getting back into it. I'm sorry about the confusion. We're thinking, well, what on earth's going on there? And they came into the finish. That's very poor marking, Sean. I mean, it's a big roundabout, and they should have been really well marked for the riders. There's no possible way they should have thought they were going the other way, unless, of course, they're just so out of their tree sprinting they didn't see the markings.
Yes, and I think maybe that Sagan almost crashed into the rider in front of him, and possibly with the confusion it looked like they were going to go down, so some of the riders maybe decided to go right instead of going possible. Left, so but it was certainly a big panic situation.
Well, a win for JJ Haro. Alessandro Pataki takes second, Daniele Bernati third, and here's Pataki. You can see just behind Haro the winner. Bernati sits up, Pataki comes around over the top of him. Howard on the right hand side. Vincenti Reines looks like he's got fourth, but Haro gets a win. He manages to stay upright, which is on, gets the right way around the roundabout. That's what it's all about, getting to the line first. JJ Haro the winner, and Saxo Bank will be pretty pleased about that. They have a win here in the Vuelta a Espanha. Considering it was a fairly lackluster stage, Sean, there was quite a spectacular ending.
Yes, a spectacular ending, and luckily that there was not a bigger crash there, because the way they were pushing on there, it could have been a real big one, and it was not a clean run in to have something like that. If the riders did think that you could go to the right and the race route was to the right, well then it's not very well mapped. But I think also maybe because with the touch of wheels almost coming down, the riders decided to go to the right just to avoid the crash.
This is the winner, 110. JJ Haro, and pulls off a sprint now and again. Not his fastest sprint, this one, and there was other people impeded, shall we say, but even so, he got around, and he was faster than Pataki, although Pataki was closing the gap just a little. Bernati sat up and pretty much gave up towards the end. Behind them, Vincenti Reines had got round okay. It looked like Lee Howard on the far right-hand side, just coming into shot as we got the slow motion. Now, one rider who missed out big time was looking in fairly good position, actually, was Enrico Gasparotto. He was one of the riders who went around to the right of the roundabout than the left. When we saw him coming over the line in the second shot of the finish line when the others were coming through, I'm afraid he looked mightily peeved, as would I. Tomorrow's stage even longer than today's, 211 kilometres for the riders to play around with, finishing with an uphill into Peña-Cabaga. Here's our winner, JJ Haro.
La verdad que una alegría enorme porque
win for you on the Tour of Spain.
Vine con muchas ganas a la Vuelta, muy pocas posibilidades para el sprinter.
I came with a lot of confidence actually for the Vuelta. But I've not had the chance because I fell earlier, but it seems the good luck's come round my way finally. And there's this weird finish that I managed to get on the right, the correct side, should we say, not the right side. It was complicated at the end, almost a crash. Is the question. Well, in the road book, it's not indicated that there's this big a roundabout. Well, there is. They said it's not written that it should have been taken on the left side. I think I was lucky to get through. I went round the riders who took the wrong turn, came to the win. Second win for you, perhaps, is the question. I think it's going to be difficult. Now, there's more riders like Sagan. I'll just have to enjoy today, really. I think that roundabout caused complete and utter confusion. Well, we have a road book in front of us. I can tell you that, contrary to what JJ is saying, there's a roundabout clearly indicated, and it does clearly indicate you should go around the left-hand side of it. But in the heat of battle, Sean, riders forget this thing, especially if they come piling in at super high speeds. So it may well be the case that, as you say, they thought, well, I'm not going to be able to get around that way, so I'm going to have to go around whichever way I can.
Yes, well, if a rider in front of you, takes the wrong turn and you're at the wrong side of him, you have to go with them. Also, you can read the route book very, very closely, but when you're there on the run in such confusion, somebody takes the wrong turn, you hesitate for a moment, and if you hesitate for a fraction of a second, it's game over.
Yep, JJ Haro takes the win ahead of Alessandro Pataki, who gets a second, and Daniele Bernati with the shake of the head comes over the line, ruining what could have been. Bernati's team, I've got to say, had the best of the lead out.
Yes, they certainly had. At the right moment, they appeared there in that final 2 kilometres with quite a number of riders. It was by far the best lead out from a team.
This is the stadium in Haro. There's the full rundown of the top 10. There we go. Haro, Pataki, Bernati, Reines. It was Howard, Koen de Kort, Lloyd Mondori, Nicholas Mace, Chris Sutton, and Juan Jose Cobo up there, just keeping himself out of trouble. So all those riders we mentioned could be there or thereabouts, especially the ones you don't see very often, like Nicholas Mace. Koen de Kort, the one we didn't pick out. Reines up there, Mondori, Sutton. But all riding the coattails of their lead-out train from Leopard Trek. Tomorrow's stage, as we say, Sean, quite different again. It's got one of those little punchy uphill finishes. The big news of today, of course, is that Joaquim Rodriguez falling in the last 15 kilometres. A, will he make it back to the finish in one piece? B, will he be able to contest it tomorrow? It's pretty tough if you're in pain tomorrow. You've got 2 categorised climbs before the finish, and the last finish has got a 19% climb in it towards the end. Pretty horrible stuff.